Howdy folks. This morning I'm out here, it's a little cold. It's about 27 degrees. You can see behind me we got rid of that raised bed, an elevated raised bed. That was one of three. That bed has served its purpose. So we're going to repurpose some of that wood. We got rid of some of it. That was a prototype, worked well. I got more designs in my head for down the road. But we're gonna start construction on our new chicken coop. This one's gonna be rat proof, and it's gonna be set in this area right here instead of being behind the garage where we gotta walk all the way around to get the eggs and stuff like that. That coop is getting old. That was given to me by a friend. But it's time we construct a new one, make it a little more efficient for us. So originally I was going to build, and I did start construction on a coop that was going to be a coop and a run that was going to be able to be pulled up on my landscape trailer, and that's one of the reasons for the winch build. This coop will also be able to be, thrown on the trailer, but this one's going to be a little smaller and compact, and we're going to utilize the existing chicken run here. We're just going to tie it in, and we're going to use some of the leftover wood from this other build, and try not to be wasteful here. All right, so this video is going to require, or this build is going to require, my chop saw. These things are the best. All right, so that's the basic base right there. Right now that's sitting at 33 inches by 8 feet. So I'm gonna add an exterior leg, actually 3 sets of legs, I believe. I might do 2, I'm not sure yet. But with the exterior leg, and then I'm gonna double it up, that's gonna make the total coop 36 inches wide. Here's the base, basic design. Nothing crazy. By the time I'm done building this out, it'll be exactly 36 inches wide. And no, I don't draw up any plans. I just kind of go with the flow. I build as I go. But everything usually seems to work out. I have a basic idea what I want to do in my head, and I just execute. So don't ask me for no plans, because I don't have time to write them down. But anyway, just use common sense and, figure out your needs and your wants. So the main design here is to make this thing rat proof, since we've been getting some rats from outside. They try and, or I had a little colony, but I got rid of them. But at this stage, I'm just getting an occasional rat that comes in from outside. So we're trapping them pretty quick, but when I'm done with this design, there will be no food left out for any varmints to get to, because it'll be inside the coop area and they will not be able to get at it. All right, so I'm just using my old chicken waterer as a reference here, just to see how it'll fit. All right, so where the square is, right there, that's going to be the basic size for the water and feed compartment. So where the water and feed are is going to be an exterior door right here. The water is going to be able to be watered and filled from the outside. The feed will have to be fed from opening the door, as we do now. So I'm going to make a compartment here, and then the rest of the coop, which is going to be 5 feet in length, is going to be a 2-tier and 4 feet tall. So if you can imagine, or I'll go on this other side. All right, so this square is 4 feet tall. So the front side will be 4 feet tall, the back side will be sloped down for the roof. But this is basically the size of this compartment. So the actual coop will be 5 feet by 3 feet. Right now my coop is actually that's the same size, I think. 3 feet by 5 feet, yes. So it's going to remain the same size. Now that I think about it, it's just not going to be as high. So I'm going to leave enough room underneath for the height of the chickens to be able to walk into this area, and then the front of the bottom will all be screened on this side so they could get sunlight. The door may be screened, I'm not sure yet. I'll figure that as I go. I think it's going to be screened though. The rest is going to be surrounded by plywood. The back side of the lower section is going to be surrounded by plywood. The entire coop is going to be maybe 12 inches off the ground or less. But the chickens aren't going to be allowed to go underneath this one unless I change the design a little bit, but I'll think about it before I put the legs on. I would like them to be able to go underneath, but this is going to be modular to the run. So there's going to be a little hallway going from the chicken door, front of the coop here, to the run. So I just got to plan it and design it as I go. Alright, safety glasses. Pull up your pants. Make sure your cord is clear. And then line up and you go. Would have been nice to have somebody holding the end of the board, but sometimes you got to work alone. All right, so I got this far. I got the base done. The plywood is just laying there, but it's cut to fit. And then I got the second base done. That's going to be the actual base of the coop, which is going to be elevated just enough to allow the chickens to walk underneath it. I think I might put everything away and think about this some more, because I still got to figure out the doors. I think I'm going to end up with dual doors. I have two of them, the chicken run battery operated steel doors. I think I might do them both on there. One on the top for the coop area and one on the bottom for the run area. And the reason I'm thinking of that is I want to be able to isolate the food and water from any rats or mice or anything like that. So we'll see what happens. So far so good. It's coming along. Good progress today. All right, so here we are. We're at this stage here where I'm making it a little higher off the ground than I originally intended. We are going to have the coop area over here, and it's going to be 16 inches of clearance plus the inside well of a 2x4, so almost 20 inches of clearance for the chickens to walk under to get to the feed and the water. So we're going to have a separate door right here to access the water and the feed, and then the water's going to be able to be watered and filled from outside here, and then this area beneath where the coop is going to be a fold down screen. The back side is going to be all plywood, and that's going to block the wind and snow and rain from hitting where the food section is. This side here is going to be plywood as well. All right, so we're just building our braces for the coop base. These are 16 inches. So that's going to give the chickens plenty of clearance, and still going to give them some roosting clearance up in the coop itself. All right, so we got our base. We got our base for the coop installed. We're just putting in some fillers down along here in between the outer legs and support. All right, so we got all our filler wood in. We put a brace for the base of the coop area, the elevated base. Now we're cutting our plywood for the base of the coop, and we're going to use this for filler pieces in other sections after. Like a glove. All right, so this is where we left off today. We're gonna go get some lunch, and we got some other stuff to do. You can see how it's coming together. And again, this is gonna be a rat-proof, mouse-proof chicken coop. All right, so I came out, this is another day. Did a little bit more. You can see I added some top bracing here, framing I should say. It's not secure yet, but I got all this square and ready for plywood just about. I gotta do a few more things over here, but like I said, I don't have a drawn plan, so I gotta figure it out as I go. And but this is the status. This is where we're at today. That's it for today. All right, making some progress. Getting the inside paneling, I guess you want to call it, plywood. On the inside, we got the door put in. Show you how that works. Perfect. Just a note, when you install these, you do not over tighten these screws. You put them in by hand. Do not use a power tool, because you'll bind this door and cause problems. All right, quick walk around just to see where I left off. That plywood right there is on temporarily, 2 screws. And here's the inside of the coop. This is enclosed run, and then the food and water will be right here. We got some supplies for the chicken coop. All right, howdy folks. We're out here again. It's cold, 30 degrees. Getting back up on this coop again. Just starting the insulation, and normally you don't insulate a coop. The only reason I'm insulating it is to keep the draft, the wind, from going through there. That's really the only purpose for a coop, is to keep the chickens out of the draft and a place to keep their feet dry. That's really all you need. All right, so we got our T11, T111, whatever the heck you call it, on the back side. Looks pretty good. And this is what it looks like from the inside. So we need to start building our water shelf here. And then this piece is installed. The piece of foam is behind that. So I need to cut, actually I need to cut a couple small 1x1s for around here, a frame around this doorway. And then we can insulate that wall, put in a small piece of plywood. and then we can start working on the doors and blocking in the roof on this section. We got a full crew on this today. All right, we're putting in our last piece of plywood.
Like here?
Yep, that's perfect right there. All right, so I can't even remember where we left off, but we got the T111 on the back. We got the coop box just about complete. I may have to put a little something up here, so I'm not sure if the chickens will peck at that or not, being up high. But we're gonna have a low roost in here. So we have a relatively low ceiling height in here, but it'll be enough to get a roost a few inches off the ground, because they kind of hunker down when they roost. It's just enough to get their feet off the flat, and it'll be on a round post. I'll deal with that before we get the door built. And we're gonna actually put some foam in the floor beneath this plywood. Probably cut that out in a few minutes, but that's the basic concept right there. So we're still gonna have, I was gonna slope this down and give the chickens more headroom in there. I could still do that in the future if I really need to, but I don't think they're gonna need it. I think they'll be fine. So the roof we're gonna build separate, and it's gonna overhang quite a bit on both sides, and might even do like 2 feet on either side. That way we get good coverage over this door, so we won't get any frost or rain on there in the wintertime. And then we have to build out our little hallway that's going to go out to the runs. We'll take care of that once we set it in place. So I had to put this ratchet strap on here just to pull this corner in about 1 inch. It ended up bowing out a little bit. That's fine, not a big deal. So right now it's exactly 8 feet from left to right. Okay, so this morning I'm going to stain as much of this as I can. It's cold out here. It's about 32 degrees. It's not ideal conditions for this, but once I put it in place over here, I'm not going to be able to get at this, and this is probably the best time for me to do it right now. I want to at least get these 2 sides that you can see right here stained. We just got done staining some of this. I just did 1 panel on the inside. Me and John did these 2 outsides and the door side here. There's all the ladies. So we did around this door, and we did this face. Looking good. All right, so we decided to start construction on the roof, get this done relatively quickly, and we're gonna start laying some panels. All right, so we're just putting in some stringers for snow load. All right, making some progress on the roofing. All right, so we're all done for today. We got the roof on, I got the solar panel mounted, the door of the chicken door clears really well. I still got to add the second door. We still got a lot to do, but all the heavy stuff in the main construction of the build is done. Didn't come out exactly the way we wanted to. We had to kind of reconfigure a couple things here, because we used some old wood for stringers, which changed the design a little bit. That's all right. We built it on the fly, and it came out pretty good. So the roof ended up being a little bit higher or taller than I originally anticipated. That just kind of happened. no big deal. We'll dress it up somehow. We'll figure it out. And for now, we made pretty good progress. All right, so I should have filmed it, but I didn't. This is how we moved it, because it's pretty heavy. Instead of getting the tractor out, which would have been ideal, we used the floor jack, a couple boards, and between the three of us and that, we were able to set it in position. Now we're just going to level it. It took a little bit of work. When we build something, we build it to last a long time. So we're going to let it sit overnight, let it settle a day or two. Once we level it and determine it's going to kind of stay level, then we'll finish the construction. We'll start building the doors, the frames for the doors. We got to add a second run door down here, and then we're going to make our little catwalk from there to there.